Got some intro music. You hear that? Can you hear
All
that
right.
on your end?
Wow, we have a producer in studio today, huh?
Well,
All these fancy technology.
let's not give the
advances.
people too much hope for what they're about to watch. By saying there's a producer in studio, they're gonna expect all kinds of bells and whistles and smooth transitions. Anyway, this is the Big Schmooze. I'm Tom.
Welcome.
With me here is Jimbus. It looks like Mr. Jimbus.
No, Jimbus is out for the day. It's me, Will, the co-host, and as many of you have pointed out, probably the better of the two. No offense to Tom, of course. I'm just,
many people. How many?
Many people are telling me that I'm sort of. No, I'm just kidding.
We have a guest who's coming on the show today, and I think what'll be good is there's a couple cultural boundaries we're going to have to explore here, but he's a successful YouTube star named Matt Rose. And I think what our show needs today is kind of like the equivalent of bar rescue. So like YouTube rescue, you might call it. And I think Matt's going to be our Jon Taffer. That's what I'm thinking.
Cool. So we got like a British New Jersey mafia guy that's coming in to help us.
That's the thing I don't know is does he have any idea? Do they have pub rescue perhaps? Or something like that have they franchised that bar rescue?
Probably. It's probably like American Idol, it's everywhere now. They have Romanian Idol,
Yeah, okay, yeah. So, I'm trying to picture, like they're trying to find who's our Jon Taffer, who's the guy who can just go around like screaming, always out of breath, sweating. Because what my recollection of that show is he kind of just yells at everybody, accuses everybody of, stealing, of not working, fires the whole staff, and then renames it like Touchdown. And then calls it a day.
He calls it like Touchdown and End Zone, and then they start selling wings and doing like fucking Moscow Mule cocktails, and then that's it. It turns around 180.
Every single bar gets turned into the same sports bar on that show, and I don't know, maybe that's the way to go. But you know what? I don't know the YouTube equivalent to that, so I'm hoping Matt can help us. I looked him up because you told me that you got him booked on the show, and the first YouTube I searched it first was Matt Rose YouTube. And what came up was a scary looking man literally reviewing knives. He had about 45 videos. Each one had a little thumbnail of a different knife. I didn't click on any of them.
What was you didn't click on it. Well, I was going to say, what was the vibe in the, in the video? Was it sort of like the sharpness on this one makes me think of school cafeteria? And you're like, whoa, this is getting a little...
I'd say it made me think,
I might want to report this to the FBI at some point, even if this YouTube channel doesn't have that many views.
Oh, somebody just joined the waiting room and left. Was that our guy? Did he message you?
Yeah, he said he was going to join here shortly. So
okay, I got somebody. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, here is our Jon Taffer, although that's not his name. Joining now. Oh man, it's exciting when we get guests. Will's good at booking, but he's been doing a good job. He got two out of 2 shows with us.
That's 100% success rate, Tom. I know my math isn't great, but I can do that.
Oh now. Boy! Hello, welcome.
Oi.
Good day, chap.
So, you are Matt Rose, YouTube star.
Correct. Tom and Will, if I'm not mistaken.
That is
correct.
Sir. Yeah. I'm the one in the room that, for some reason, I'm kind of backlit and everything looks really red. I tried to adjust it today. Usually I look like I'm broadcasting from hell. It's not the worst today. And Will is standing because he fell down a flight of stairs. So hopefully that differentiates us enough for you, man.
Yeah, so I've got sort of the heavenly angle and he's, somewhere in hell, I think.
I mean, you got this going? You got this going above the head?
Yeah, a bit of a halo.
Yeah, I suppose that's what it is, yeah.
A little gift from God.
Why can't you sit down? Or is that not a discussion we should be having?
Well, don't go there, Matt. Come on.
Oh, I want to go there. Will, we're going to right into this.
It's fine. It's fine. It's an old man injury. They call it a slip and fall. I fell down a flight of stairs, concrete stairs outside, and then I jacked up my back. So I got to do all those standing desk, orthopedic shoes. I'm in that position in life now. So.
Orthopedic shoes.
Yeah. I was the youngest guy who bought orthopedic shoes this year so far, I think.
I mean, they weren't cool when I was at school, and I don't know if they've got any cooler.
They have actually. You can buy them in like sort of like boat shoe look, like Dockers. If
They're
you want
really
Converse.
At last, right? They're finally jazzed up the orthopedic.
It's cool because the boomers can now wear like, some nice like Chucks or whatever, and they're orthopedic shoes at the same time. So
good luck to them.
Well, and Will, now you kind of look like a cool hipster because you got it's the health trend to have a standing desk.
Yeah,
that is true.
It is. Are there any new health trends in Britain these days, Matt? I know everyone has got their sort of cure for COVID. Here in America, we like to sort of like shoot guns in the air, hoping that the bullets sort of, maybe pierce some aerosolized COVID around us. But what do you guys do in Britain? You got any coping mechanisms for this?
I mean, health trends. People vapes.
Oh, right.
Do you get a lot of vapists where you are?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, all over.
Yeah, well, just one big cloud of vape society.
Lock them up, I say.
Marzipan sort of scented smoke everywhere. Yeah, we get a lot of vapists here. I guess that's healthy. But apart from that, no, we're quite keen on sort of killing ourselves. So we just eat and drink whatever.
The Boris, the old Boris. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
so
exactly. When you've got Boris telling you what to do, it's just sort of do whatever you want. I mean, if we had guns, we'd shoot them everywhere, but you're not allowed them here, unfortunately.
Yeah, someday, man.
I got a cultural question for you, Matt. So we in the U.S., we've got a show called Bar Rescue, where a guy named Jon Taffer kind of just sweats and screams at everybody in a bar and fires everybody and turns everything into the same like kind of sports bar. He calls it like Touchdown or whatever. I mean,
I've seen Bar Rescue.
Oh, you have? Okay. Well, because
it's been lockdown, so I've covered up every single possible show. So yeah, I've seen him walk into a bar and just someone's playing pool and he just goes berserk, obviously.
Yeah, he's like, give me that stick, and he starts beating somebody over the head with it. He's
trying to be Gordon Ramsay, right? He's trying to be a Gordon Ramsay of pubs.
Well, so what I was thinking was, Will and I think we need somebody to Jon Taffer us. We need a bar rescue, but like a YouTube rescue, and you're probably the man for the job.
Is that why you've got me in it?
Surprise.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I'm gonna Gordon Ramsay you rather than bar rescue you, if that's right, because that's well, tell you what, how about this? You two have a 30-second chat, and I'm just gonna sit back and watch.
Okay.
So I'll give you a topic. In fact, I'll give you a topic. Why don't you guys talk for 30 seconds on cancel culture?
Oh, great.
Well,
just for 30 seconds?
Just for 30 seconds, just to give me an idea of I mean, I didn't know I was here to salvage.
Look,
please go for it.
So, Will, if I were you, I'd be pretty worried about cancel culture. And once cancel culture started to become the movement that we're living in, it was clear to me that I'll have to find a new co-host at some point, and I'm not too worried about that. Change is good. What do you think?
Yeah, Jesus Christ, what can I say? I would say
Christ. Whoa.
Oh, sorry. Oof. Is Gordon Ramsay religious? I didn't. I get that fucking Lord's name out of your mouth there, chap.
Your podcast's like a bison's penis.
Oh boy, we haven't even finished the 30 seconds though, Matt.
No, carry on.
All right, yeah. So Will, a lot of people coming out of the woods these days. A lot of scary stuff, I'm sure.
A lot of Kevin Spacey's out there.
Every Kevin Spacey that goes down, every Charlie Rose that goes down, you got to sweat a little more, I'm sure. So, how are you coping? You making a lot of apologies or just
tons? I'm apologizing to everybody. I apologize to everyone in my entire high school reunion. I didn't show up, but on the Facebook page, I was like, "Hey guys, sorry, don't cancel me." I just try and be very anti-cancel culture while still being as blunt as possible. So it's like this might come back to haunt me in 5 years, but it's pretty funny in the moment, right? Yeah. So that's my attitude on it.
So Matt, I got a question for you, dude. Like, should we be?
By the way, I'll just say, I think you've done quite well there. I think you've done quite well. Delicious.
All right.
Wow, this is the first time on a Gordon Ramsay or Bar Rescue show that somebody got a compliment 30 seconds in.
But it's very rare to see a man with a spinning halo compare Jesus Christ to Kevin Spacey. And somehow play it out. So I tip my hat to you.
All right. Well,
likewise.
We're going to rename the show Touchdown just in case, but otherwise I'm glad to hear we're doing well.
Matt Rose's Touchdown podcast show.
Maybe
No
not,
association with Matt Rose.
maybe not my name, but yeah,
Oh,
touchdown.
speaking of your name, actually, Matt, Tom has a kind of funny story.
Yeah, so Will had told me about you, and then he said he was booking you on the show, and so I was doing my research. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. When Will gives me a recommendation, that's pretty exciting. So I looked Matt Rose YouTube, and the first thing that came up for me was a guy who reviews knives. So he had
You know him? The other.
I don't know him, but I know of him.
I saw this and I'm looking through. I didn't click on the videos, but I'm looking through thumbnails. It's just a different knife in every thumbnail. I'm thinking like, oh my God, I hope this isn't who we're talking to. Then eventually I found you.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know every other Matt Rose, but I'm aware of this guy because I've seen him popping up when I've, been searching for my own name. And
Googling myself.
Yeah.
We all do it.
He loves his knives, doesn't he? For me, I mean, how do you do a knife review without stabbing someone?
Right. Or something, at least.
Yeah.
Like a piece of meat, Like,
Unless
oh,
you
wow,
could,
the cutting.
yeah, you could Mythbusters it, couldn't you? And just
Right.
shank the shit out of a pig, and they go, yeah, this one works.
Yeah.
I get the sense his production values look a little lower than that. I think it's just a guy talking about like, yes, I like this one because it does blah, blah, blah. And I like the idea that there weren't a lot of views on these videos, but that there's a bunch of people out there who are like, I'm thinking of buying this knife. Let me see, like, what are the reviews? Are you videos about this?
What does this knife do that other ones don't? I wonder.
Yeah, I'm buying this knife as a gift for my niece. I just want to make sure it's the best knife.
Yeah. I just want to make sure the little kitty hologram on the handle of the knife isn't super cheap. So my niece doesn't come back at me and now she has a knife. She's like, hey, my Little Pony thing fell off the handle, What gives?
Yeah, so I'm not that Rose. I don't review knives.
Yeah, I'm relieved.
For me, I think all knives are fine, right?
Pretty much the same, in my opinion. I don't even know if we need this YouTube channel. No offense to the other Matt Rose.
I'd say you got your butter knives and your sharper ones, and that's all I need,
Absolutely. That said, I have got into I'm 31 years old now, and I'm at the state of my life where I sharpen my knives for cooking quite religiously.
Nice.
Because it's making me sound like all Matt Roses, love knives, which isn't true.
The stereotype.
Not all Matt Roses.
Not all Matt Roses, just most of us Matt Roses love knives. But yeah. So, but no, I haven't watched his show because I don't care about.
I think we could all get the gist of his show without watching it, frankly.
So you thought that you were going to get a knife maniac.
Oh yeah, for a second
you're going to have to ask him questions about how did you get into knives.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about because I can make cocktail conversation with a lot of people, but I don't know about a guy who like spends hours every week posting about knives. I don't know that there's not a lot of overlap in that Venn diagram.
Yeah, I guess.
Speaking of cancel culture, that would get us canceled right away, Tom. Like, this knife is sharp enough to pay back Mrs. Grimsby, the principal or whatever. And they're like, whoa.
Cool,
Whoa.
Matt. That's great.
Yeah, awesome story. Shifting to a completely other topic. How's the weather over there?
It's as hot as a fucking knife out there, mate. I'll tell you what. Was Mrs. Grimsby really the name of your teacher, or did you just make that up?
No, I just made it up on the spot.
Yeah.
Well, so
no, I don't hold any grudges to the point where I would sort of brandish a knife in a YouTube video and be like, thinking of a specific person here.
Yeah, we made it clear. We're not that type of show. But okay, so we did the YouTube rescue thing, but I do have a couple questions for you, Matt, which is how do you make a successful YouTube channel? Because beyond just coaching Will and I, what's the recipe for success that's worked for you?
Well, at the risk of dissuading you, it's sheer luck. Obviously, try and be funny and post as much as you can, but you're aware of the YouTube algorithm. You heard of this?
Yes, of course.
So obviously YouTubers just revere this
deity.
Sort of deity. Yes, but it's very capricious. It just sort of picks random videos whenever it wants. And so literally I put a video up about 2 years ago, and then it was about 4 months ago, the YouTube algorithm just went, I'll tell you what, should we give this twat some views? and then from there, you can post and you can become quite big. But until then, I don't know what to tell you, boys. I don't know what to tell you.
Just keep hacking it out.
Yeah. And hope that you'll get lucky. But, you know, I think part of it is just trying to stand out from the crowd, because there's a lot of what's on YouTube now is so generic.
Yeah,
right.
I'm so sick of putting a video on and hearing, what is going on, everyone? It's your boy here. Now, before we get in this video, make sure to smash that like and subscribe.
You know what I'd really like to smash, Matt, when they say that?
Mrs. Grimsby's stupid old face.
Exactly. No. Well, God bless Mrs. Grimsby, but, you know, probably the YouTuber who said that, I'd probably have to, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I thought she was right, to be fair. But yeah, that's about all the advice I could give. Post regularly, and just try and be interesting and not absolute douches, which I think you guys are capable of.
Well, you know,
hopefully
we
can't speak for Tom, but
yeah, Will's got enough douche for the both of us, I think. But you know, I don't know. It's been something where I think we probably could do more of the like, oh yeah, subscribe. I don't know that the word subscribe to our channel has ever come up in any of our videos. So as you're saying, don't do that.
That's a dangerous slippery slope.
Yeah, they subscribe if they want to. You know what I mean? You reminding them just annoys them, I feel like.
If anything, what you could do is, I mean, this might not work, but you could say, please don't subscribe. Don't you dare subscribe.
Yeah.
Reverse psychology.
Yeah. Right. I mean, it might not work.
It might take us literally. Well, okay then. Fuck you.
Report this video. Take me down.
Yeah, exactly. YouTube, this is completely inappropriate. I don't want to see this in my feed again.
So I don't know. Did you guys see? There's a new Hulu show. It's got Paul McCartney just kind of like sitting at the piano, talking to, I think it's, what's his name, Rick Rubin or something, a recording artist or a studio guy, and he's just sort of like going through all the songs, talking about everything. So I'm watching this last night, and you know, it's actually kind of fascinating because Paul McCartney weirdly remembers, like, oh yeah, we just like Ringo was doing this little doodle, and then it turned into this song. But a thing that kind of shocked me was he's literally chewing gum. Paul McCartney is throughout the entire first episode of the show. And what I thought would be fascinating, and I wish Hulu would do like a behind the scenes, because you know there were 40 people who were like, can you tell Sir McCartney, Sir Paul, can you get him to take the gum out, please? And like nobody wanted to say it to him because Paul McCartney. And at some point, either they did say it and he was like, no, I'm going to keep chewing the gum, or just nobody actually said it. And I'm so fascinated by what happened.
What can you do? You'd have to ask the least paid intern to you know, the person whose reputation is least at stake
for the real answer.
Just tell Paul to spit it out.
Yeah, and like did that actually happen? Like, did somebody just make? Oh yeah, no, I talked to him. He said he won't take the gum out. Like Paul McCartney knows if you're doing an interview, probably don't chew gum, you know. Or is it just that Paul was like, man, no, it's a really good piece of gum I found. I really like it. I'm gonna keep chewing it.
I love Wrigley's.
The more I think about it, I don't. Number one, I don't think anyone said anything, and number two, I think he could have done anything, and nobody would have batted an eyelid. I mean, he could have been shitting into a fez, and I still think, I mean, they're not going to say, you know, tell Paul not to do it on camera. They're just going to go, well, he's one of the Beatles. He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
What if I'm just on the toilet chewing gum the whole time? Would that be okay? Yes, Paul, absolutely. Yeah, as long as we get the show, that's fine.
Shows up with like.
You didn't mention this. You didn't raise the subject just so you could show off your Paul McCartney accent, did you?
No, I didn't even know I had one, but I've just been watching that. So
no way is that's impromptu.
That is, yeah. Well, everybody's heard everybody do a Paul McCartney impression. I'm not going to claim that's an exciting one necessarily. Everybody in England probably has one, right?
I've never been in a situation where someone said, "Can I hear you, Paul McCartney?"
Really?
Really? Yeah. Wow.
Which impressions do you all do?
Yeah, you guys do like American impressions, like, "Hey, buddy, put it on my credit card."
So a huge one in England, and I don't know if it's as big over there, is Bane.
Oh, really?
Just like a
yeah, because they're, oh shit, I need a pint glass, really. But if you speak into a pint glass, it's sort of, you know, you feel in charge. Bane is huge. I mean, after a few Jaeger bombs, everyone's going, "Oh, have you seen that? You seen that Bane? Can you do Bane? Bane's very big. Christopher Walken is a nice one.
Oh, classic.
Go walking here as well. Yeah.
I mean, can I hear yours, Tom? Well, and Will, but Tom, you seem to be.
Tom's got the better one. You know, I can't
really.
really.
I don't know if I've done Christopher Walken impression very much, but we've tried occasionally.
Pretty good.
To be honest, I thought it was him in the room with us, Tom. That was gave me chills.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's the other Christopher Walken who has a knife YouTube channel.
Yeah, I'm the DACA Christopher Walken.
It's nice.
Dark Side of the Moon.
Very sharp, but not as sharp as I would like.
Not sharp enough for my purposes. Like what purposes, Chris?
So Will does a Sean Connery. I think that's his favorite. There's been times before where he just will message me and say, "Hey, what if we just do like a fake Sean Connery interview today and record it, and that's an episode of the show." So he has bursts where he has to be Sean for an hour.
Just inhabits me.
All eyes on you, Will. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh well, this is he died, so this is sort of in loving memory of. Was he a Sir Thomas Sir Sean Connery?
Yeah, they knight anyone over here. You play tennis like twice on telly. It's like boom, boom, boom. Yeah.
Okay. So it's only a matter of time before Bezos gets the knighthood as well. Just gives enough money to the dear old queen. You could probably get whatever you want, right? Anyways,
enough stalling. Let's do you.
Yeah. Let me.
Oh, you've got a.
Sure. Yeah. Let me. Just give me a sec, guys. It's like a mental space I have to inhabit.
Eva, come on.
No. Oh,
this really fucking good. Sorry.
Hey, we'll take the compliment. From the grave here. Does anyone have any questions for Sean?
How's hell, Sean?
Hell is great. A lot of women here. There's actually it's mostly women, but I lucked out because I wanted to be here anyways. Next question.
Sean, what's your biggest regret in life?
Biggest regret? None.
That was a good bang.
Here, let me get my pint glass. Do you have like somebody do Bane and then another one does Batman in the same pub? So you kind of like.
What does Batman say? Where is she?
Yeah, they're very similar, actually.
Yeah. Both hard to understand. Yeah. Christopher Nolan's just like, I don't really want to hear the dialogue, So.
Can they just mumble through the whole movie, and then we'll put subtitles if anyone has any.
I don't know if you watched Tenet or Dunkirk, but the whole like both of those movies, just like the music's really loud and there's all these like noises in the room. So just don't worry about the dialogue. It seems to be his new trend.
And also, it's sort of like, well, even if you can't hear what they're saying, you've got to say, well, I didn't understand it, and it's, oh, did you not understand? Oh, I guess you're not a big film buff then. So.
Yeah, I guess you're not smart enough.
Sorry, guess the second half of this movie you won't understand.
Yeah. I still haven't watched Tenet. Any good?
I did not. I thought it was boring.
It's not bad. I mean, not terrible.
Just like movies now are just like, we're going to explain these weird sci-fi constructs for an hour and a half to each other. And that's, that's most of the movie. And I just, I don't care that much about, okay, you're going backward in time. That's cool. I can explain that in one sentence. We figured out we got the whatever device, we go backward in time. All right, done. I don't need an hour of that.
It honestly felt like Nolan was ripping himself off. It was like, this is like, if some other director was trying to do Inception without being Inception, at least that's kind of how it felt to me. I was like, man, yeah.
Well, so Matt, you got any? No, sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you.
No, I was gonna. You caught me because I was just gonna go on a ramble about time travel. So
well, that might be great. I don't know.
We'll do that later. What were you saying, please?
I was going to ask if you have any exciting upcoming YouTube videos you want to plug. Well, we got you here.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, every subscriber milestone, I do a cooking show.
They're fantastic, by the way. I have to say, probably the best segment of the whole show. You put Gordon Ramsay into tears with your skill level.
Well, it helps. I can't cook for Boris. I can't cook, and I try and cook things that have never been cooked before. So I tried to do a. Do you guys have a lot of Jaeger bombs? You do Jaeger bombs, and I'm aware this is the second time I've mentioned it. You probably think I'm sponsored by Jaeger. I'm not sponsored by Jaeger, but
you would be. But if Jaeger's interested, call.
Yeah, Jaeger. If you're listening to this podcast for whatever reason, a Jaeger intern, hook Matt up.
I wouldn't think of starting my day without a nice cold Jaeger.
Oh, that's perfect. Do that again. We'll just send that to Jaeger.
I wouldn't think of starting my day without a nice cold Jaeger.
Matt Rose approved.
That seems a bit forced, doesn't it? And also, I'm a man with jowls, and I think they want like cute sort of blonde girls drinking Jaeger. I don't think they want a haggard 31-year-old muppet.
No, they want you in front of like 20 girls behind you, so that it's like you can be whatever, and you'll still get girls with Jaeger.
Even if you look like me, you can still get birds like this.
Yeah. You look like an old washed up rock and roll man like me. You still get all the birds, mate. Look at this, I drink Jaeger and all the birds just fucking flock over.
That's good.
Oh,
I made a deep fried. I tried to make a deep fried Jaeger bomb for one of these cooking shows. I don't know if you've seen this. My idea was you could make it like a Scotch egg, where. What was I thinking? Yeah. So if you freeze because you can't freeze Jaeger, it's too iconic. But if you freeze Red Bull, and I think you make a batter out of Jaeger, batter that little ice puck, deep fry it, and then you've got like a Scotch egg that you can just get drunk on the go. You take it to work or whatever.
Scrumptious.
And it just went absolutely so badly wrong right from the fucking offset. I mean, it could not have gone worse. And that really set the bar for each of these cooking shows that I do. And I've recently hit another subscriber milestone, so I need to do another cooking show. My next video is going to be another cooking show. Which always because, I know, but they're so just dangerous and bad for me. I mean, the last one, I actually got sick, and I'm not putting that in the video.
I believe you, because I saw like I don't know what it was, some sort of blue smoke coming from the burning Jaeger bomb or whatever. I was like, oh, that can't be good. There's some fumes in the air there that even Chevron would be like, whoa, we got to get people out of here.
I mean, I live in a small house. We had guests coming around that night.
Oh,
I've got to tidy up the whole house because a part of me thought I might just move. Because I mean, there's just Jaeger and batter everywhere. So yeah, that's what I've got to look forward to soon.
Yeah, so
we'll look forward to it as well.
Yeah, some chaos. People love chaos when it's facilitated right. It seems like
chaos in the kitchen is funny too, because it's like, wow, there's 100 things in here that could kill anyone. So that's just kind of an added level of fun. It's like, wow, that hot splattering grease is actually no joke.
And not just that, you're putting the end result inside you.
That too.
Yeah, we've come full circle. Will, you start off asking how do they fix COVID over there, and it's basically just put a bunch of trash in your body like normal, and now we're back to putting a bunch of trash in your body.
Yeah, I put trash in my body every day. I go to Dunkin' Donuts.
Are you guys quite sort of up on the whole COVID thing? What's America like? Do a lot of masks and etc.?
Not a lot of masks anymore.
Yeah, we both live in states where I think it was considered like a myth that COVID existed for the most part. I'm vaccinated.
The whole north of our country believes that.
Yeah.
The Scots.
Yeah, well, so I'm vaccinated, so I'm not worrying too much about it. But yeah, pretty much no. But I see maybe one person wearing a mask a week. I don't know about you, Will. You're in Florida, so I can't imagine there's ever been much, masking going on.
Oh no, it's like mask required on the door, and then you walk in and there's like 3 employees wearing a mask. And it's like, oh, I guess they meant employees because there's fucking nobody here wearing this. Hopefully everyone's vaccinated, right?
Yeah, I think both of our states, our governors would probably punish you if they saw you wearing a mask. As opposed.
Where are you, Tom?
I'm in Nebraska, so middle of the country, middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
I'm on the fringes of the country. I'm down in the tip of Florida.
Well, I've been to Florida. I've never been to Nebraska.
Well, don't come. Stay away.
Fine.
Why I moved, Matt.
All right. Well, Matt, we appreciate you taking time to talk to us. I hope you had some fun. We'll make sure if you come back on again, we'll have more time to prep whatever whatever impression he's got, so we don't have to spend 20 minutes of Will just thinking, what am I going to say? What's my accent? Sorry. Will killed the momentum. In other words, I'm apologizing for Will.
I don't know if I agree with that necessarily. What do you think, Matt? I mean, I killed the momentum. He's saying
you guys have done really well. I feel like Gordon Ramsay at the end of an episode of Kitchen Nightmares. When he did some very, very minor adjustments. He's changed the wallpaper and showed the chef how to make, a Caesar salad, and he's go, my time here, it's done. Yeah. These guys are going to do great.
They're set up on the road for success with that one Caesar salad.
When I came here, absolute damn, what a shit show. But now these guys are going to do great, and I am so happy for them. Yeah. Wow.
Well, I think that's a good note for us to end this interview on. Thank you so much, Matt, and good luck with all the upcoming crazy, cooking and other YouTube adventures you're about to go on.
All the best, my friends. Good luck.
Yep.
Be safe. Thanks for coming on the show, man.
Over and out.
All right. So that was fun.
That was great.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Good to have someone from the other side of the pond.
Yeah, and he laughed at us. I think.
I guess we're funny.
Sometimes people don't laugh when you There's a lot of people here. Maybe it's a Nebraska thing. I can make some observations that I think are kind of funny or have kind of a funny reaction, and you don't always get people are like, okay. This guy, he's high pitch laughing even.
Yeah. Hey, what was that story you told me where you made some sort of what was it, like a bowling pun or something, and some guy laughed for 6 hours. He was like, man, that was the funniest damn thing I've heard in my whole life.
What was that? Oh God.
It was something it was like a pun you did that was okay, objectively that's pretty funny, but it was
okay. It was like a smile type, oh yeah,
clever. But yeah, the guy you told it to was blown away. He's like, wow, this humor is just top shelf. And he just didn't leave you alone for a whole afternoon or something.
I blocked it because I don't remember.
Probably for the best.
But I don't remember who I was even talking to. Who laughed that hard? So I'm, that one's just gone. I did a show last night where our friends, the Real Zebos, they had. So they did their first live show since COVID, and so it was at the waiting room. This tells you how much I go to concerts. But so they had this idea. They said they're one of their most popular songs had just gotten, I think, 1 million streams. And so they asked me if I'd come play Tim Spotify, CEO of Spotify, who's going to come reward them for getting 1 million streams by handing them a framed $5 bill. And I thought, yeah, that's hilarious. I'd love to come do that. So I went down there, and I was in front of a full house, tons of people there. Go on stage, grab the mic. I play stupid, Tim Spotify, and the crowd went wild. They thought it was hilarious. As I'm walking out, people are like, well, because the joke is kind of everyone hates me, right? Because I come out, I interrupt the show, give them royalties, then they sort of scream me off the stage. But it was, it was fun that it worked well enough that literally as I'm leaving the show, people are like, "Fuck you, Spotify."
It's almost like a wrestling match. It sounds like the pre-wrestling show sort of hype the crowd up.
It's Spotify. People are pointing out to calling me Spotify. I guess I'm walking.
Really? Oh my gosh, man. Oh wow.
And, Rich, maybe they just
he's the Spotify.
Maybe they didn't know it was a joke. I thought it was funny, but it's Nebraska, so who can?
You imagine they're like, wow, we saw Spotify tonight. We saw him in real life. It's it's a him.
Show, honey. Spotify was there.
Yeah.
When I
saw the Real Zebos, and Spotify was there too.
Well, so I got in, and it probably I don't it was obviously pretty goofy when I got on stage, but I get in, my name's on the list, so I get to go stand in the back. I dressed up because I'm supposed to be a CEO, and so I'm like that stereotypical agent who's about to go sign the band. I'm just standing in the back with a drink, and in a suit watching. I'm not really dancing or clapping much. So I don't know. Maybe some people were actually fooled. It was a fun experience.
That's kind of cool. Yeah. Definitely get some wrestling energy vibes from that. That sounds. Did anyone throw anything at you, an empty cup or a?
No, just the screaming, it's Spotify. It was just the recognition was enough for me.
It's just so funny to think about.
Yeah, Tim Spotify. Yeah, so I'm glad that Matt liked my impromptu Paul McCartney. I guess it's
good.
Paul seems like a pretty easy impression. You know, it doesn't everybody have a I really think everybody can do Paul. It's just not everyone tries, I guess. But yeah, no. All right, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I heard some guy say once that the Beatles invented that accent, that Liverpool, the way they talk and stuff. They invented their own accent because they were basically talking to some guy from Liverpool, and it's like nobody really talks like that, you know. So it was like, wow, they sort of invented like the Beatles accent, if you will. So,
that's interesting. They get credit for a lot. That's not a thing that I've heard them get credit for.
No.
But so in this documentary, Paul's just sitting at the piano, right? And so he's saying like, you know, I don't really know how to play or how to read music or notes or anything like that. I just sort of, you know, like here's a chord, you know, here's C. So like he plays the C chord. Here's D, here's another one, like there. And then from there, you can make all kinds of music. So then
you can go to A minor.
Just like this. Then he plays a really complicated, fancy, like, yeah, Paul, if you're a genius, you can figure it out if you just know the C chord. Not everybody can just sit down with one chord and figure it out. Sorry.
That's so funny to me that like he's just chewing gum the whole time.
Yeah, so here's the C chord. Yeah, no, it's like that. I'm thinking like 5
minutes. You know what?
He's got to take it out, and he doesn't.
Right, like a producer probably told him at some point, like, hey, like he didn't tell Paul, obviously. He told Paul's handler, and he's like, hey, if there's anything we could do to get that shit out of Paul's mouth so he's not making those noises, that would be great. And then the handler's like, okay, I'll talk to him. And he's like, hey, Paul, can we get the? And he's like, I smack my lips so much anyways because I'm so old.
Not chewing gum, mate.
Yeah, just my lips.
I'm in my mouth.
Just me old man lips.
Okay, Paul.
All right then. Whatever makes you feel comfortable, Mr. McCartney.
Exactly. Paul's not going to chew gum the whole interview. Like he's going to take it out. So yeah, I'm sure he will.
Yeah.
You know, 40 minutes into the interview, like he's still chewing.
He must have forgotten, right? He's such a professional all the time. It's ridiculous.
Helps him get in the zone, I guess. I don't know.
makes him remember the good old days when he would chew gum as a young Beatle. Nostalgic.
I love the animosity toward Ringo. It's not overt, but you can tell it's there. Like yeah, you know, Ringo had a fan base, so you know we'd put one Ringo song in an album for the Ringo fans. It just like clearly he's not a real member of this band. You know, he's lucky to be.
No.
Subtext.
I heard another sort of like funny observation about the Beatles. It was like, wouldn't it be hilarious if Paul dies before Ringo? Because I guess Ringo's the older one, so it's like expected, like, oh, you know, Ringo's gonna go, and then it's Paul, the last Beatle. But it would be really funny if Ringo was kind of the last guy because of the fact that like Paul McCartney's just gonna be like, oh, Ringo, my best mate, the last one is gone. It's like you hated that guy, be honest. But he'll just, he'll play it up like, oh, I remember so many good memories of Ringo. I hated him in the moment, but now I just remember him so fondly for the press.
I don't know. I think Paul's kind of over trying to play, the politics of bands at this point. I think he's chewing gum on Hulu at this point. You know.
Yeah. What do you got to do to start chewing gum on your own TV show on Hulu, huh? That's God status.
A fascinating watch. I really like. There's some weird details about it. You know, like the fact that the main guy talking the whole time won't spit his gum out. But you know, it's like just hearing him talk about how they came up with all the ideas. It actually is pretty interesting. I also watched there's that Edgar Wright Sparks Brothers movie about the band Sparks. Do you have any exposure to the band Sparks? Have you really heard of them?
No,
I hadn't heard of them. I'd maybe heard a few songs, but didn't know that they were Sparks songs. They're this weird band that sounds like Bohemian Rhapsody. There's kind of like the normal part where Freddie Mercury is singing, and then there's the weird part where he's like do 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 do, you know, like kind of like almost falsetto.
Okay.
Galileo, that weird part.
Yeah.
That's that part of Bohemian Rhapsody is kind of what every Sparks song sounds like.
Wow.
Without the normal part, the return.
Is it good?
It's okay. I think like they're fine. I don't have patience for like. I could not listen to an album of that, like, because the guys like kind of in that falsetto, and the songs are weird. They got fun energy. Like clearly these guys are, having fun.
Right.
That kind of band. It's like they are talented. I don't know that I like it that much, But so apparently they're pretty much everybody's like I think the tagline is it's your favorite band's favorite band. And so they have all these people in it who just talk about how much they grew up loving Sparks. But then the narrative of the movie is just like, yeah, so Sparks did a new album and it didn't really make any waves. Then they did another album, it didn't really make any waves. Then they did another album, they didn't really make any waves. And it's 25 years of that, 25 albums, just
Wow.
over and over and over again. And
Wow.
like, yeah, maybe they're finally going to break out on this next one.
After 25, though, man, I feel like just let your work just exist out there for someone to find in 100 years.
Yeah, it's like, there's
Yeah.
the reason why Bohemian Rhapsody let that just be like the weird little interlude kind of sound, not the whole thing. But yeah, I don't know. It's like a 2.5 hour long movie, and it's Edgar Wright, so it's an easy watch. But my takeaway was like, it's almost like I feel bad that I still don't really like Sparks by the end, because you're clearly supposed to root for these underdogs and get so invested in it. But it's like, yeah, no, I kind of get why I've never heard of them. Maybe that's okay.
Yeah. I don't know if I could listen to the whole Galileo part of that Bohemian Rhapsody song without just kind of being like, okay, can we get something else in here?
Yeah, or they got one song,
little variety,
It's like 5 minutes long, and the only lyric is "My baby's taking me home." So the guy gets out there and he's like, "My baby's taking me home. My baby's taking me home. My baby's taking me home."
Is this a parody band or is this real?
Yeah, they kind of sound like the Weird Al polka stuff, but it's
Yeah, I was gonna say this sounds. I don't know. This sounds like they're taking themselves quite so seriously.
Well, Edgar Wright takes them very seriously, but anyway, so
who are we to get in Edgar Wright's way?
We should have asked Matt. I think they're a big band in England, even though they're not English. So next time he comes on, we'll talk Sparks.
Definitely, I would actually love having him on as a guest again.
I think he'd
See
come
if we
back.
Can get a good rotation crop of guests, and then we'll have a real show here.
Yeah. Well, he told us that, it's just magic. So in other words, don't try too hard because it won't matter.
And in even another word, consult your local horoscope and try and get some fucking hocus pocus to happen. Because
and by the way,
it's just sheer luck. I might just make an incense offering or whatever I got to do to get some good karma for the show going here.
And by the way, subscribe, please. Those of you listening, subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Come on, just hit it.
Just hit it. You know you want to, or don't. I mean, I don't know. Whatever works. Reverse psychology might work. Don't hit the subscribe button.
So much trouble if you hit.
You don't even want to hit that subscribe button.
Yeah. So
don't you do it?
How I want to hear a little bit about the story of your destroyed back.
Yeah. Well, sort of like an epic, like the Iliad. At this point, you're hearing the Velcro straps that are like basically this back brace that I have to wear.
Oh my God.
I'll put it down a little bit, but I got one of these old man back braces here.
Oh God. It's like Bane. You're like, or I guess you're like Batman after he fought Bane and his back was, as I recall, he healed his back by climbing out of a tunnel somehow in that movie.
Yeah.
Trying that.
I have tried that actually, and that was what made it worse. I was kidding. My chiropractor yelled at me for a week. He was like, "Stop climbing out of caves, damn it! I'm gonna fuck up your back even worse."
That was definitely a point in that movie where like, "Whoa, man, there's real stakes here. His back is broken,and then it just heals itself." And that was
that was kind of a wasted opportunity. I was like, "Man, there's got to be like, an old like sage that comes and helps him heal his back and teaches him this stuff." It was just like he just was healing his own back. He was teaching himself. He was doing push-ups alone. It was like, okay, I guess Batman's a really independent man. Doesn't need nobody. And even fix his own broken back.
All these problems that you figure out in the first half of the script, and then you like wait 6 months and go back to it, and you're like, "Yeah, I kind of thought we would have figured out a cool solution for that." I don't know. It's just better. Let's move on. Don't worry about it.
Just get him out of the cave, and then we'll just move on with the movie.
We'll fix it later. And then they're filming. It's like, oh man, we didn't rewrite that part.
Oh shit.
Let's just film it. Maybe it'll work. Just like a Rocky montage, right? I don't know.
Yeah, it was kind of a montage thing from what I remember. It was like, damn, this is a quick. Like, they don't even establish how much time has passed. Like, they don't even have a prisoner saying like, "Oh, you've been doing this for 2 months or something." Like it's not even like any. It could have been the next day for all we know. Yeah. I mean,
They may as well have just played that Rocky song. Like, Batman at one point looks up. Starts doing the push-ups. He's punching.
Wow.
Now he's in Philadelphia now. That's kind of weird.
Jesus, yeah. So now he's eating a cheesesteak and he just broke his back like 30 seconds earlier in the movie. What the hell's going on here? He's like got a bunch of kids following him as he runs up the stairs of the Philadelphia Art Museum. Ridiculous.
Imagine. That would have been just slightly dumber than what actually existed, but it would have been way more entertaining.
That would have been like, that's a little too WTF for Nolan, but that would have been hilarious in like a Simon Pegg, type of.
Yeah.
They'll get one of those who's the guy who always writes most of the Simon Pegg movies with him?
Edgar Wright.
Yeah, Edgar Wright.
Sparks
right.
Man.
Right. Same guy.
Yeah, same guy he directed the Sparks Brothers. And
wow.
Yeah, he's the director. And then there's Nick Frost, who's in all of them.
I might have to check it out. But again, I don't know if I'm gonna like this band.
Yeah. Mileage will vary, but anyway, so you're back. Sorry, I went on like 16 different detours there, but no,
it's okay.
You fell down. You were looking at like an apartment, and you fell down an entire flight of stairs.
Yeah, slipped and fell down all the whole staircase, basically.
How many stairs, roughly? Like,
I don't know, a full set, 11, 12.
Okay.
10.
And so, like, give me a little context though. So you walk up. Do you slip on something, or is it just like they just wiped it down and it was wet?
No, it had just rained and it was like waterproofed concrete and stuff. So it was a little slick, and I just took my legs out from underneath me and smack.
Hit the back and then kept
hit the back. Yeah, hit the back.
Oh my God. So how bad's the damage?
Damage is at least 6 months. So
and then do you go back to normal after 6 months, or is it
kind of? I don't know. They're not sure yet. So it might be like a lifetime thing, or it might just be like a 6 months thing. So yeah.
Wow. So what's the liability of this apartment building here?
I'm not at liberty to discuss that.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
All right, fair enough. But they suck. I'll say that. Will's not saying anything. I'm just going to say, these.
Let me just say, for the record, I don't live there. So.
So you've been going through medical stuff in the meantime, and that's been kind of its own disaster, I imagine, because
it's been interesting,
system here in the US.
Yeah, it's kind of a strange. It's just a level of communication that usually you don't need in other places, just because you got to verify, you got to make sure everything's right. For example, I had like some appointments like set up every day, and then I was like, I can't do this every day. Like, how about 3 times a week? And they're like, oh yeah, sounds great. And then I leave my appointment on Monday. They're like, we'll see you tomorrow. I was like, no. You'll see me on Wednesday. Like, did you guys update this? Yeah, we updated it. It says we'll see you on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Okay, so we'll see you on Wednesday. See you tomorrow. It's like, oh my God.
It reminds me
of update the system, please.
Remember when you'd go to hospitals because you went on your trip through Europe and would have health problems, or you thought you had worse health problems than you actually did have sometimes. But so you'd go, and there's the language barrier of people who don't speak English as a first language or at all. This actually sounds very similar to that, even though it's in America.
Yeah, kind of, actually. I don't know if I've told this story on the podcast, but I do have kind of a funny story about a Portuguese hospital.
You've told it on something.
Probably one of our previous podcasts.
We'll hold on to that. We'll let that be a tease. All right.
We'll let this gem sort of gestate in the womb of the earth until it becomes a nice polished diamond.
Oh man. Yeah, those are good ones. But so how you're going to have to like stand. Can you lie down? Like I assume you sleep still, right?
Yeah. Sort of. But laying down is the best thing to do. Standing up, kind of walking, believe it or not, is good for it. So just trying to get back to normal. It's been a long road.
Do you think you're going to be a standing desk man forever now?
I'll tell you this, Tom, I might be a stand-up comedian. Because I don't see it being any other way. Not one of those bar stool comics that like Marin, you know what I mean? Just sitting down like, what can I what are
you guys looking at? What
can I kvetch about today?
I like the anger he has for his audience. He doesn't really have it anymore, but like old Marin,
Yeah.
What are you looking at? Like he'd pick one specific guy, throw a ton of baggage on that. Like he would connect whatever is going on with like his dad and some other person
Yeah.
and all that.
He'd be like, stop projecting my father onto me. And it's like, what?
Yeah. Yeah. And then like, it would just come out in that, like that at that person. That was, I think, him at his best, just because it's like nobody else is doing that. Like that is your niche right there. And I like that more than like now he does jokes, and I actually don't like him as much.
To be honest, I've seen his stand-up, and the actual jokes themselves are not that great. I feel like his podcast is better, but only like slightly better. Like
off the cuff, I think he's great, and when he taps into like real anger and stuff, it can be really funny. But yeah,
angry is funny. But like, for example, when he had Obama on, he's not like crazy Mark Maron. He's like, so the first day of your presidency, sir, what was that like? It's like, this is not Mark. This is like this is like an Anderson Cooper podcast at this point, Mark.
Yeah.
Fix that up.
Well, speaking of anger, you don't have a lot of anger talking about this. I kind of thought you'd get in here and rail against the whole world.
Well, I'm a little medicated, Tom. So I could do that shtick, but it would be probably wouldn't be that funny. It would just be a lot of swearing.
A lot of tears.
Tears as I'm eating, like crying into a sandwich as I'm eating it, and sort of bitching about everything.
Oh man. Okay. Well, this is probably a good point to start wrapping up. Is there anything else you wanted to throw out here?
Yeah, actually, there was something I think I mentioned. I don't know if it was related to the royal family or not.
Yeah, I don't think you warned me you were going to be medicated. I thought I was getting the full will, not the what's the word for it? I don't know.
If not, I'd be laying down in bed and you'd see like this angle. Hey, everybody.
Hey, just like in pain. Like,
yeah. Can you see my double chin through the beard?
Really hard, just because you're in so much pain. I know sometimes I'll just sleep on my back wrong, and then like the next day I'm constantly like, making those old man groan noises every time I move.
Yeah, I make a lot of groaning noises. I would say, sort of like I'm a groanig now. Isn't that the
Simpsons guy?
Yeah,
or graining?
Grainig.
Something like
maybe.
That. Anyway,
oh yeah.
What are you for us? What do you got?
Oh yeah. This morning, a terrible crime was committed. I'm a single origin bean man, as you might know. I'm very particular about my coffee. Had some Dunkin' the other day. Spit it out out immediately. So
it's not good.
It's terrible.
You have to, see, people talk about like, oh, you drink your coffee black. That's crazy. But there's such a drastic difference between a good bean that's prepared right and just like the trash that they get. Like, yeah, because it's trash, it makes it's a better experience to put a bunch of sugar and milk in it, because then you don't taste the trash, but you get the caffeine highs.
Get your fix.
But it's like, no, it's a completely different thing getting a good single origin. It's a different.
It's true. Yeah, so I was expecting some Burundi beans, which I didn't even know where Burundi was until recently. I'm
a big Burundi fan.
Who knew Burundi had great beans? It's like I didn't even know where Burundi was in Africa. Now I'm like,
yeah, I've learned more geography since I got
coffee
in school.
I've learned so much about Yemen in just like 2 weeks than I ever did in fucking world history class.
Malawi, what's that? And then I look it up, and now I learn about it.
Belize, is that in Africa? Oh no, okay, never mind.
So you get your coffee mailed to you, right?
Yeah, I do, and I just moved to a new building, and they don't have the mail set up until Monday. I didn't know this. I ordered the beans last Monday. They're supposed to be here today, so they resent them to the shipper. So my beans are now being sent back home, while Papa's sitting here drinking a Folgers, wanting to blow his damn brains out.
So this is why you're subdued. You don't have you're literally on ledication, and you don't have the right coffee.
I know. This is why it's less.
Apologize to Matt.
Less will.
I
know.
This is why Matt. This is why Matt hated you.
This is why Matt left so quickly. It's like he wasn't bringing the energy. I saw it.
The guy, this Will guy, he's got nothing.
Yeah. You know what he brings to the table? Nada.
Can't even do a Sean Connery impression.
Yeah. From
He
beyond
loved the
the grave.
impressions. I didn't realize that he would
Oh.
want us to do impressions. Like if I knew that, I would have thought about it a little bit more. But thank God I watched a Paul McCartney chewing gum show. You know, I had a little bring to the table.
Thank goodness I watched that show for long enough to pick up a McCartney accent.
Oh god,
Nice.
So yeah, so your coffee. Are you like is there a place you can go to? Because like what I do is I live pretty close to a bunch of coffee shops that are pretty good because I'm in the middle of Omaha. So
right.
I drive 5 minutes and I can get some good beans. Are you able to do that?
I mean, I could look around. There's just like stores around mostly, not a lot of coffee shops. And then when you go in, it's like, I don't know how long this has sat on the shelf. I don't know this and that. So by the time you go like seek out a nice HQ quality coffee shop and buy their beans, they might just be the same as like whatever you got at Walmart, just in a bag. Just because of the fact that they don't restock or whatever. So. Stale beans is just not in my blood. I just can't do it.
It's not a pleasant experience.
It's not. And you can taste the difference. I mean, I'm not trying to be a coffee snob or anything, just with this. I only drink single origin and stuff.
10 minutes ago, I was complaining about single origin versus non. So not to be snobs here.
not to be stuck up or anything at all like that. But I hate it.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't know. I just old roasted blends to me is just like, what was I thinking when I was drinking this?
You ever heard? There's that Mike Birbiglia joke. It's something like if Folgers if the best part of waking up is Folgers in my cup, I've got a real problem.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to bed.
Yeah.
I heard recently that they kind of grind in a bunch of stuff like with the pre-ground Folgers coffee. So basically it's like they'll put in a little chicory root, which tastes similar to coffee. And they'll put a bunch of other like sawdust and additives and stuff so they can kind of cut it a little bit.
That doesn't surprise me.
Drug terminology, but
it explains why it tastes so bad. I mean,
I know.
Like probably like chicken beaks, like ground up,
Pig.
Chicks. I don't know, I'm just thinking like that pink slime from McDonald's chicken. I'm that, but it turns into coffee somehow.
Yeah, they got calamari from pigs. They got all of it.
We talked about bung.
Yeah, we've talked about bung.
My God, it's the most disturbing thing in the world.
It's so.
Never eat calamari again.
Yeah, I don't think I would do that either.
And just the word bung, the fact that that's what it's called. It's like,
somehow
this concept just got even grosser. You picked the perfect 4 words to describe it.
Yeah, you picked the perfect little word to describe something I never want to hear again.
Yeah, like, want to try some bung? Like, I have no idea what that is, but no. I promise you, I do not want bung.
Yeah, right. Like, even if you have something good that you pair with bung, it just detracts from it. It's like, what'd you order? Oh, I got a filet mignon wrapped in bacon and then a side of bung. Oh, bung?
Caramelized bung.
Yeah.
Maybe
caramelized bung risotto for dinner, actually.
No substitutions, please. Well, but can we talk about the bung though? I mean, just maybe just leave it out. Can we put a bung on a different plate? Maybe, I don't know.
Could we get that side of bung and just like scrape it into the trash, and then you could put like mashed potatoes on the side or something? It's something edible. Maybe
do a scene in something sometime where all the specials have bung in them.
You know what we should do? We should take a page out of Matt's book, and we should learn from the master. We should post a ton of videos where we just do impressions of Sean Connery ordering bung, and maybe Paul McCartney ordering bung, and then we kind of go from there.
Paul, could you maybe not eat bung during the interview? I'm not eating bung, man.
You're eating bung. I'm not eating bung.
Here's the secret to my success eating this bung. I really like the bung. When we were riding Lady Madonna, I only got the riff down because I spilled so much bung on the keys, and I was trying to wipe it off, and then it's that's a nice little tune.
You imagine Sean and you imagine Connery and McCartney went out for like a lunch together, and they're like, "So, Paul, what are you having?"
I'm gonna have the bung special. How about
you? Oh, you go for the bung. Okay, well, not my first choice.
Always go for the bung, right for the bung, Sean.
So, what's in the bung? What's the bung appeal?
Well, the bung appeal is, yeah, I would bet, Sean, you've got some bung appeal to you. You see, I've seen the food.
I don't know what that means.
Bung appeal could be your middle name, Sean. Yeah, bung appeal. Yeah, this could be a good song, Sean.
Yeah, it's a great song, Paul. So, why? What's the chewiness level on the bung? Because it looks incredibly chewy.
It's so chewy, Sean. You'll chew for about 3 hours of it. So you have a little bit of this.
So you weren't even chewing gum on the set. You were just chewing the last piece of bung you had for lunch.
One bite of bung, the whole documentary.
It was a little bung palate cleanser after the meal. Been chewing on that for 3 hours, Paul. Just spit it out.
Yeah. Yes, well, the dessert was great. Can I also get a cup of espresso and a little bit of bung?
Could I get an aperitif and a bung? Yeah, I don't know. Does that even exist? I feel like it's just a made up myth that I heard in a movie.
No,
right?
It was because there's articles about it that I've come across. I don't think anybody ever is like actively trying to serve bung. It's always hidden and it's always called calamari or something. Like nobody's ever actively tried to like advertise that it is bung.
Yeah. Now with 100% bung, it's like, wow. I preferred it when it was before and 0% bung.
You know what would be a great experiment is if they did like, you know how Republicans get so mad about fake meat? If it was like
fake meat,
fake bung, then you'd get Ted Cruz going out there shoving bung into his face as a big identity politics.
Frying bung on the end of like an AR-15 gun.
These lib socialists hate bung so much that our good farmers are working on. So I'm going to eat nothing but bung for the next 2 years.
Assault rifle fried bung. It tastes amazing. I'm just owning the libs with all this bung I've been eating. They say you are what you eat, and I want to be Mr. Ted Bung Cruz. Edward Bung Cruz. That's a great name.
Raphael Bung Cruz, right?
Oh, Raphael, right. Yeah, because he's not even American. Raphael Eduardo Bung Cruz. Or no, Cruz Bung. That sounded a lot better. Maybe I'll hyphenate it the other way.
This is a good place to end. So I think we
probably
here. We're not going to top that one. So thank you for listening, everybody. Make sure you subscribe. I know we're not supposed to say that, or maybe we're supposed to. It doesn't matter, right? Do whatever you want.
Yeah. What the hell? Smash the like button if you want to, or if you don't, then fuck off.
Ooh, harsh.
Sorry. I mean,
all right. Goodbye, everybody.
You know what I mean.